Hello everyone, in this episode we are heading north from Shanghai about 800 kilometers to Jinan, the capital of Shandong province. It's known as the City of Springs, with 72 famous springs recorded through the history. I will take you to explore two of the most iconic ones, Baotu Spring and the Black Tiger Spring. And we will also wander through the local streets to experience Jinan's unique flavors and the culture. So let's go!
Good morning, guys. Today is 24th of July. Today I'm going to start a new trip, an excursion for 3 days. Go to Jina in Shandong province. It will take like around 3 hours to get there. This might be the last trip in China for 2025. Hopefully to get more interesting content for you guys. So see you guys over there. Such a long queue. A lot of people are waiting here. I don't expect, because this is like summer holiday season. Probably students are going back to their hometown. So yeah, kind of like chaotic. Getting to the platform, carriage 7. This looks like a nice train.
There are several high-speed trains running between Shanghai and Jinan every day. The fastest ones take about 3.5 hours, while the slower ones take around 5. A one-way ticket costs roughly 500 RMB. I'd recommend getting a second-class seat. It's spacious and comfortable enough for the trip.
I have arrived in Jinan West Station. This is not the first time that I've been in Jinan in Shandong province, but before I came here when I was a teenager, so almost like 20 years ago. See you guys in the city center.
Jinan railway station is a bit away from the city center, so taking a taxi is the easiest option. It's not expensive, around 40 RMB will get you to the downtown area.
I have now arrived in the city center of Jinan. So first thing is to check in. This is the hotel. Water Hotel. Looks like a fancy place. I'm not really sure. Let's get in and check it out. The entry is kind of nice.
Wow.
你好，订了一个房间住2晚。
现在只有一间做好的，是个头房，可以接受吗？
什么意思啊？
头尾房，它就是第一间房。
会吵吗？还是什么？
不会吵，就是有些人可能会介意这个，你介意吗？
如果你为什么我就会介意？
它的话在后面这个位置，7点到10点，房间的话给他安排到2楼，然后电梯前方直走到厕所馆，有事情的话可以直接给我打电话。
好的。
生日的离子厕所馆啊。
So the room is 201. The first one, I think. Okay. So let's have a quick view of this room. The hotel is located in the city center of Jinan. It's very close to the majority of the scenic spots. This is the bathroom, not really spacious. This is the shower. It's renovated recently and it's quite clean. Everything is clean, and I choose a double bed. You got a little table here and a mini sofa. Here is the LED television. This year is kind of like special year. I have very strong reason that I'm not doing tourism for making videos. There's something really important for me, for China Uncle Mikey, to do in lifetime. I got 3 days making videos. Let's hope I can see something interesting for you guys. Alright guys, so it is the lunch time. Now I'm trying to get something to eat. The first mission is to get a KFC store. This is a very center part of Jinan city, the old Jinan city. And this avenue is kind of like the central business avenue. Well, I said I have been here before when I was a teenager. Almost like how many years ago? Maybe it was like 35 years ago. My parents just dropped me in the Shanghai railway station. Before they had all this like high-speed railway deployed in China, it was we call it 绿皮车, right? The green skin train. It was very slow, 80 kilometers an hour. It took me like almost overnight. So I believe I hopped down in Shanghai back in the days, in the afternoon, like 1 p.m. or something. Then I arrived in in the morning, 7 a.m.
KFC in China is a bit different from the ones in Europe. They offer a variety of rice dishes, but I went with the classic chicken pieces and a burger, since I personally prefer the American-style KFC.
This is the first scenic spot, which is called Baotu Spring. If you guys have heard Jinan before, Jinan is so-called the city of springs. So there are like 4 or 5 springs that you can check out. But the most famous one is this one, Baotu Spring. So we are going to check it out. A lot of little vendors and a lot of like small markets are set up in front of this scenic spot. Here it is, Baotu Spring. Okay, I'm going to buy a ticket and then get in. 40 RMB for the adult tickets. Alright, a lot of traditional customs.
Baotu Spring has always been the most popular landmark in Jinan. Since its summer vacation, kids on holiday love to come here and play in the water, which makes the spring extremely lively and full of tourists.
Alright, here it is. This is the most famous spring fountain here in China, in Shandong province, in Jina city. This is called Baotu Spring. And you can see there's a plaque in the middle of the pond. It's called the 天下第一泉. So most famous spring in China. Kind of like tiring because this is like a holiday season for the kids. Most of the visitors here are the children and playing around with the water. And the water is kind of like make the whole ground wet. Greenish of the water combining with the red pillars of the pavilions, it makes a good picture, right?
This Baotu Spring lies in the heart of Jinan, a place where history and the legend flow together. Over 3,000 years ago, ancient texts already spoke of these waters. During the Northern Song dynasty, the scholar Zheng Gong gave it the name Baotu, means leaping spring, inspired by the way the water bursts from the earth. Centuries later, during his southern tours, Emperor Qianlong was so captivated by its beauty that he called it spring, the #1 spring under heaven. Locals tell an old tale, a white dragon living beneath the spring, guarding the city's lifeblood throughout droughts and wars. Even today, Baotu Spring never stops flowing, a living symbol of Jinan's resilience and the spirit that has endured for thousands of years.
Let's move on to the next destination, another spring, Heihu Chuan, Black Tiger Spring, which is not so far away. And because the Jinan old city isn't that big, from the west to the east, it's just like 2 kilometers. So the Jina city is kind of like chill, you know, it's not very populated. Of course, if you go to the scenic spots, the most famous spring in China, it's gonna be overcrowded, which I have done. But if you just like taking a walk on the streets of Jinan, I don't think it's like hustle and bustle everywhere. I have checked out the restaurants, some of the malls. This is a kind of like very modern. Before we go to the Black Tiger Spring, I found this building. This building is also a landmark here. It is called Jiefangge. So Jiefang means the Liberty Pavilion. When I was young, 10 years old, I have been here. I'm going to check out this Jiefang building first.
This Liberation Pavilion stands at the southern end of Old Jinan, built on the remains of the ancient city wall. It was erected to commemorate the victory of the 1948 Jinan campaign. The pavilion stands as a solemn symbol of Jinan's journey from the war.
I climb up onto the Liberation Pavilion and now I see a swimming pool. This is a very like typical old style of the swimming pool that I used during the 80s. I don't think this swimming pool is upgraded through the time going. The Liberation Pavilion is some kind of like a patriotic training center, education center, which is telling a story how the Liberation Army won the war to defeat the KMT. So inside the museum shows a lot of historical battles happened in the Jinan city. Oh my god, I'm kind of like thirsty. Kind of like dehydrated. Hit on the spot. This is the Black Tiger Spring. The 3 stone black heads. The springs are coming out from the tiger's mouth. That's why it is named the Black Tiger Spring. The second spring hit on the spot. Mission accomplished. Okay, we are off the main commercial street district. This is like the back street of the living neighborhood. So far, I think the Jina city isn't very unique and typical. The majority of the urban design, the city outlets are kind of like normal. It's just as similar as any cities in China. So that's why when you're traveling around China, you have to pick up the important part of China to do the tourism. We are now hitting the spot. This is in the middle of the lake. There's a pavilion behind me. This is the landmark in the lake. The lake is kind of like a must-see in Jinan city because it's located up on the northern part of the old Jinan city town. I'm going to climb up onto the building. This is actually an art collection of Chinese calligraphies. This wood carving is a grand eagle. It will cost you 40 RMB to get in. This is the top floor. I climbed 6 floors and made me a little bit huff and puff. It's fabulous. You can overlook the entire laking area. It's a big lake. It takes a while. Maybe you have to take the scooter or take the bike to go around. I'll show you guys. It's the evening time. I had a rest in the hotel and now I'm going to check out this next street. Maybe some of you guys find it kind of strange. I was wearing a face mask when I get into Jinan by the train. So the problem is I got COVID just before this week. It was a terrible one. COVID is still a thing in China. It's kind of like when I went to the emergency room in the hospital in Shanghai, I heard a lot of people had the same symptoms, because I got really high fever and it was a bad fever. It was burning. I was like 39 degrees. The body temperature wasn't able to bring down it by itself. So that's why I went to the emergency room in the hospital. The doctor just gave me some special medicine to treat the COVID. It was working very well, so I took medicine and all of a sudden like my body temperature was down to just a little bit higher than 37.5 or something like that. So that's why I was wearing facial mask. One is I don't want to spread it. Another thing is I want to protect myself because you wouldn't know because I got like maybe 2 weeks of protection period that I wouldn't affect it. But maybe it's better to just protect yourself when you are traveling around China. Don't get COVID. COVID is really a bad thing because it will cause a lot of symptoms. Maybe it will ruin your trip, right? So now I'm going to check out this next street. Maybe tomorrow I will do it because here the specialty is the lu cai, right? The Shandong cuisine. So, but today maybe I will just get some kebab to eat and fast food to try. So yeah, okay, fair enough. Let's go. Wow, so here from the Christian church, although it is closed in the evening. I bought these fried dumplings. They gave me 8 dumplings. They put some vinegar in it. The local dumplings, Shandong province. Yeah. This is some kind of the end of the food street. A lot of shops are duplicated each other. Those very typical Chinese snacks that you will find in any cities in China. There's no specialty that they offer which is different as the other cities. So I didn't stop and just order some fried dumplings. This is the end of the video for today. So yeah, cheers.